Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, just want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great ministry of the world, and also salutation to the brothers around the world, preaching this word in 2030 to the full elect, preaching this word in 2030 to the folk of the earth, heralding the coming of Yahushai Mashiach. That is his true name. Yahushua is the true name of the one you all ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And when you say ignorantly, you don't know the meaning of the word ignorantly means not knowingly, right? Also, to the brothers who held in the downfall of this wicked queendom that is ruled by Esau Edom, who is known as the white man today. Shalom, 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 Karakiam. Right? And as we know, the scriptures say that these heathens think that they will establish and they will continue ruling, establish the NWO and continue ruling for a long period of time, because as they say that Babylon will not be destroyed, right? America will not be destroyed, but we here to say otherwise. We not here to go with what the masses, the majority of people speaking about. No, we are against the system. We are against these wicked heathens, right? Because that is what the Lord put us here for. That is basically our purpose, right? To prophesy against these wicked heathens and against these wicked tutor jakes also, right? But basing on Babylon right now, basing on America, that nation, that not a kingdom, that way they say queendom, right? It will the basically living on borrowed time, right? The time is nigh, or the time is drawing nigh, with the downfall is getting closer and closer, and it is inevitable, right? As the book of Job chapter 20 and 5 here says, and I read, knowest thou not this, of all since a man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Let's go down into the word triumphing, right?
Triumphing. Verb. Present participle and gerund of triumph. Noun. Triumphing. A display. Triumph.
Right? Triumph.
See also.
So it says number one, it says a conclusive success following the effort, following an effort, conflict or confrontation of obstacle, victory, conquest, right? So the victory, the conquest, right, the conclusive success of the wicked is but for a moment, as the scriptures say here. So though they may seem to have been successful throughout all the voyages, throughout all the conflicts to the four corners of the earth wherever they go, right? Making wars, breaking treaties, and doing all these things and getting away with it. The time is going to come, the Lord is saying here that will be no more, right? Verse 6 it says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds. Because why? We know that, as the scriptures say, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Who is this wicked? Who is that wicked person? Who the Bible, out of all the nations in the world, right? Out of all the nations, which nation the Lord classify as the wicked, right? And it is very easy to find out these things because why? The Lord gave them certain blessings. The Lord gave them certain traits, right? They have certain traits that is my bad. Yeah, a little slip of the tongue there, right? There were certain traits that was spoken about in the Bible, right? Simple as the blessing of Esau Edom, right? They are blessed with the sword, right? They're blessed with war, right? When it comes to all the war tactics, you understand the art of war, all these things, they're blessed with that because I will the Lord bless them with from way back when, going back into to the blessing of Esau, we got from his father, which is actually from the Lord, right? When it say here verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, right? When I check it out, also his pride also, right? And all his knowledge, we making all these space force, we making all these fighter jets, we making all these satellites, all these things, they basically blessed with knowledge, right? But the time is going to come, as the scripture say, is there no more wisdom in Timan? Lord is gonna bring them down low. The other nations and them coming and surpassing Esau Edom when it comes to technology, right? Continuing here, it says, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Right, the time of Esau Edom, it is at the end. Right, that's how we living in the end times right now. Right, that is basically signifying the end of Esau's rulership. Right, it says, they which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right, the time is going to come where Esau Edom will be like a bad memory or a bad dream. Right, the kingdom of Esau Edom, the nation of America, aka Babylon, will be like a bad dream, like a story that it is telling a storybook that was going to happen to them when the Lord come back. He ain't just coming back to save his people. He coming back to destroy this wicked place, to kill these wicked two-thirds also. Also, America is going to be destroyed. Babylon is going to be destroyed. Right? These heathens is going to go in chains. No if, no but, no maybe. Because of the pride, because of the wickedness, these things the Lord is going to have to do. Because even to this very day, they still feel they could fight against the Lord. They still feel they could stop the elect from getting salvation. But no, the Lord already ordained it to happen, so it will happen. Right? Whatever they imagine in the heart, they imagine in the mind, that the Lord already knew. That's why he have plans. He have, how does it say, counter plans, I should say, to whatever Esau is thinking. As it say here in Nahum chapter 1 and verse 9, it says, what do you imagine against the Lord? Right? What you all thinking? What you wicked heathens thinking that you could? Because think about it, all these years they've been telling us, showing us movies about aliens, right? And what they're saying about these aliens, what they programming, predictive programming again at its finest, right? What they programming in our minds and their soldiers' minds and the ones who in the army, when they see the aliens come down, to shoot at them, to destroy them. Because first thing first, they ain't gonna wait to they ain't gonna wait till they make the first strike, right? Not saying it have aliens, right? But they ain't gonna wake. Well, a matter of fact, according to the factual, or when you go down to the meaner aliens, yeah, not these Martians I'm speaking about, but yeah, if you all want to call the angels of the Lord aliens, then hey, so be it, right? But back to what I was saying earlier on, they don't programming these jigs so when they see the spaceships, which is the charge of the Lord, to shoot at it, right? They already feel that they already right now in this point in time, the pride that they have, they feel that they could fight against the Lord. They feel that they could make a weapon, right? Make a super soldier, make some type of aircraft or some type of jet that could fight against the church of Yahweh Shai, who fight against the angels of the Lord. Which in this basically playing it in the movies. When you watch Avengers, when you go back to Thanos, when you go back to Doomsday. No, not Doomsday. The last Avengers, that wasn't Doomsday, that was, I forgot what it was. The new one is Doomsday coming out. But think about it. Right, what happened to Thanos? Thanos was saying that what he want to do is kill out half of the population so we wouldn't have strife and we wouldn't have hunger and no starvation and stuff, right? But some shallow-minded people might watch it as that, right? Look at all these bad guys, I should say, all the bad guy aliens that come in to destroy people on the earth or to kill out people on the earth, right? Majority of them have a higher cause for what they're doing. Simple as Thanos, because he didn't want nobody to suffer. So he said, right, I gotta kill out so much and so much of people. Isn't that the same thing in a type of way that the Lord is going to do when he comes? 2/3 of Israel is going to die. Right? America, everyone who's in America is going to die if they not saved by Yahweh Shem Yashai, right? If they haven't been saved by Yahweh Shem Yashai by the chariots being beamed up, right? So think about it. They programming you in your brain to fight against the Lord when he comes, and having these chips, having the RFID marker, the beast, right? These RFID chips, these brain chips also. Think about it. These chips tapping into your nervous system and helping you to do whatever things you can't do without it as a normal human being. I wouldn't be surprised to know that they might be able to get X-ray vision with it also. Not X-ray vision, but I forget the next one. Like enhanced vision, I should say. Right, swap out the blind people and with the mechanical eyes, it be able to see thousands of or hundreds of meters away, right? So wouldn't they be able to tap into these chips also? Wouldn't someone be able to hack these chips, or the owners themselves be able to control the parts of your body that they self give you, right? So it's basically you giving your life to them. That is why the scriptures say, anyone who take this mark, it have no turning back. Because they make a choice there. What will happen back then with Moses, in Moses' time, and right? The Lord, the choice they made, right? The choice some of the Israelites made, they died. There was no turning back. So the same thing is basically going to happen in this time, right? You take that mark of the beast, that is it there. It ain't no turning back. But back to the precept here. So I can push through in a bit. It says, what do we imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up a second time. Right? It will not rise up again a second time. Because the things that these wicked heathens and them want to do when they make America great again, right, is basically put the Lord's people back into slavery. Basically have the hand over us and have us in that subjective mindset again. But the Lord said no. The time is going to come when my people is going to rule. Right? Will you all feel what it's saying, I believe it's saying Psalms. Will you all feel that the time is going to come where you are going to rule the world? Are they praying brain from Pinky and the brain, or they have too much brain? 11. Yeah, 11. So, right, this is the book of Psalm chapter 49 and verse 11, and it says, the inward thought is that the houses shall continue forever. Right, that's what you think, that's what you think in the brain. Right? If you stop talking about the heart is the most deceitful above all things, going back into your mind, you deceiving yourself, Esau. Right? The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling place can, I make a mistake here, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call the lands after their own name. Right? Don't feel that your house is going to last forever. Don't feel that you're going to make America great again. Yeah, and top right and all too, I don't feel that it bring out the Job. I didn't go down into the Job 20 because I wanted to go down into it. Verse 20 and 22. 20. Right, can Job 20 and verse 22. Right. Away. Away. You can. Book of Job 20 and verse 22. And it says, in the fullness, you can. It says, we had to finish this Job. Let's wait on Bakusha. Make sure. Yeah, finish from the top. Right, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right? Let me go down into that here now. Right? I will go down into that word sufficiency. Right? Right? it says sufficiency, the quality or condition of being sufficient. 2, it says an adequate amount, like going to do with sufficient,
Sufficient. Alternative forms.
Right, I don't hear you. Right, it says sufficient and adequate quantity of, example, enough. Right, we go with that word enough or adequate. Right, alright, back into the precept here now. Enough or adequate, right? It says in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right? So when, as the precept say here, well, I'm gonna read it because I'm gonna quote it anyway. It says when he's about to fill his belly, right? So it have a feeling when you're full of belly, you say eating, right? And you finish your food, you drink something, and you just back, you rock back, you feel pleased, you feel good. You understand, right? So think about it in this way: you're eating your food, and all of a sudden somebody come, or you have to do somebody come and check you, or some movie scene happen, and you ain't get to eat out your food, right? You ain't get to full your belly, you ain't get to feel pleased, right? Is a whole sour feeling inside the feel, because why? You never get to eat out your food, you're coasting, and it could have been maybe you was hungry, right? So we feel going to happen to Esau Edom, what they feel going to happen to their nation, America, aka Babylon, right? You ain't gonna get to feel comfortable at all, right? The wicked heathens, when you so feel that you will get to establish an NWO and have the whole world and all the world's people under your NWO, no, it ain't gonna be like that. God is gonna come and take his elect out of this place, right? You ain't gonna get to feel too comfortable too long. That's why it's here, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All these other wicked heathen nations, right, is gonna come and bring you all down, right? It's gonna come and burn down Babylon, precept say, right? Well, let's quote it, right? All the nations and them also, they get mad. So going to happen. Jeremiah 50. Sorry, what I want to think Jeremiah 50 or 51. Jeremiah 50. I believe I have a precept down, so I just had to scroll and I go find it. Right, 50 and 9. Right, Jeremiah 50 and 9, it says, for though I will raise up and cause to come, for though I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. The arrow shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall miss. My bad, I mix up two precepts here. Mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Right? None of these arrows, none of these thermonuclear bombs, these weapons of mass destruction is going to miss. They will burn down America with thermonuclear fire. Just as Yahweh Shem Shai, World War III is already started. Right? And we know, and a lot of you all know that. What you're going to do, having all this information, having all this knowledge. Right, back into the Job here, finishing off verse 20 and 23, it says, when he's about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? So they're not going to get to finish the food, they're not going to get to be comfortable, they're not going to get to fully establish the NW to the four corners of the earth. Right? They're not going to get to accomplish all the plans that they want to make. They're not going to get to make America great again to that standard, or better than how they used to be. Right? Because why? The Lord has set a trap for them. As the precept says, he set a snare for Babylon. Right? That is exactly what happened. The Lord set a snare for you all, and you will be caught. Because why? He can see the future. He knows exactly what's going to happen. He knows all the bob and weave we're going to try to bob and weave to escape, but they're not going to be able to escape. No matter how smart these wicked heathens is, they will not be able to escape from the trap that the Lord have set. Because why? They touch the apple of his eye. Alright, say in Sirach 10. Let me get it one time. Right? You touch the apple of Yahweh Shai's eye, and it's no. The time is now. You have to pay the price. Right? Sirach 10 and verse 8, and it says, because of unrighteous dealings, you wicked heathens on them. Because as the precept say, the laws is not in your heart. Right? Righteousness and being good is not in your heart. When the precept say, that's roughly paraphrasing it, your brothers is not will not talking about that. Yeah, good. I know how to my thought. So like, yeah, right. Even if they do good, is not according to their own code. They don't even do good unto their own self. Right? That is show wicked these heathens is. That's roughly paraphrasing the precept. Right, continuing, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Who ruling this kingdom right now? Who is in control of the earth right now? Which nation? Esau, Edom. You all know that. That is the one people, and the other people is Israelites who's going to rule. So just know that you wicked heathens, your time up. Because all the other nations and then basically have getting shares some Esau Edom, because all of you all aligned with her when it came to Psalms 83. All of you all came together against the Lord hidden ones, against the Lord prophets, against the Lord people. Right? So the Lord have a just recompense for you all. Right? He don't want you all to, we don't want no reparations. He don't want you all to try to make it better, or try to pay for the wickedness that you all have done to us. No, the Lord will repay. The Lord will revenge you all for that. Avenge, my bad, not revenge. The Lord will avenge you all for that. He will avenge his people. The good already supposed to say was repay you all for that, but yeah. Obadiah 10, right? Obadiah 10 and verse, my bad, 1 and verse 10, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Right? That is what is about to happen. Because why, you wicked heathens? Right? Can. Yeah. Obadiah 1 and 10, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right? That will be a judgment, death and destruction. Right? You put it was thrown into slavery. So right, don't worry. Time is going to come. What the precept say? Where's Revelation over here? While me bring out that one. Let's see if I got it. Alright. Precept here, Revelation 13:10. It says, "He that leadeth." Psalm 9 it says, "If any man have an ear, let him. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." Right? So you all will get the same thing in the kingdom of heaven. In the Lord's kingdom, don't feel you're going to do something and face the consequences. Right, I'm gonna bring out one more. Amos 1 and verse 11. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." He's not gonna turn it away. You could beg, you could cry, you could do anything you feel like. If he's an Edomite, just know you're gonna have to pay the price. Right? Just like how the sins of the fathers fall upon the people today, upon the Israelites today. Well, hey, all the transgressions that they did in the past carnations, you Edomites will have to pay for it. It says, "Because he did pursue his brother with the sword and the cast of all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." That is why it have been going throughout and throughout incarnations and throughout history, with these wicked heathens hating the Lord's people. That is why they did what they had to do. That is why they did what they did, actually. It says, "But I will send fire upon Teman, which shall devour the places of Bozrah." Right? So, every single, and even when they go down into the book of Amos, is judgment for all these nations also. For a lot of these other nations, these other heathen nations also, for what they done to Lord people. He will not forget. Yahweh Hashem Yashai will not forget. As you all like to say in the churches, he's the same yesterday, same today, and same forever. But right, he didn't change his mind from what he said back then. He's not a liar. He's not a utter confusion. Right? So when he says something, he's just going to do it. When he says something that's about to happen, it will happen. No if, no but, no maybe. As the precept say in Habakkuk, the vision is just for a appointed time. Do it tarry, wait for it. Right? So if he says something is about to happen, it will happen. That is why I call it prophecy. Pro-see. Yeah, pro-see and foresee, prophecy, see before. So that if I might break it down a little off, because to say it outright, I don't want to get tight on. Well, not tight on, actually stutter. So like about that. Right, with that, hope this video was edifying to the flock. Just want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, that do well, and salutation to the brothers around the four corners of the earth, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. Heralding the coming of Yahushua Mashiach, our Savior, and also heralding the downfall and the destruction of America, aka Babylon. Shalom, 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 Karakiam.